And we're back for day number 6 of Starladder China, and of course, brought to you by none other than Beyond the Summit. I'm LD, your host, and delighted to be bringing you these games. There has been a bit of a schedule change, guys, so be sure to get the word out there. We're starting with the big matches for today. IG versus Vici Gaming. Following this match will be Newbie versus LGD. Then Tongfu versus lgd.cdec, a battle of two teams in the cellar of Starladder China. And then to conclude the day, we'll have Lai Gaming versus Hearts, not Hearts Get Together, Hyper Glory Team. I still love that old name. Oh well, what can you do? Of course, this is going to be a big one. As we look at the standings here, it's a 3-1 record for Vici Gaming right now. They've gotten the better of pretty much all their Chinese brethren as of late. Invictus Gaming sitting at 3-2, still in playoff contention, but if you watched their games yesterday, you will know that they looked on the verge of complete collapse versus LGD. They ended up salvaging an epic game. I won't spoil it anymore, but you should check out the VOD if you haven't already. Anyway, with that said, draft is underway, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see, we're going to have Vici Gaming on the Dire side, and that puts IG on the Radiant. And it's a first overall pick, Scarth Mage from IG, and Vici, Drow Visage, all the rage right now in China. Cloud9 has used it for some time now, actually. I think the first time they used it was like 8 or 9 months ago. Maybe not quite that long ago, but it was definitely well before TI4. It didn't really catch on too much with other teams. A few of the Western teams would occasionally experiment with it, but nobody really ran it that consistently until WEC. Then Cloud9 went to China post TI4, the first major LAN after the International. They ran Drow Visage very successfully at the event, and ever since then, it's been copy-paste Dota from the Chinese teams. They're all running it as well. So not only are they running Drow Visage, but they're picking it up very early on. Now, I think Centaur is probably one of the best counters to Drow Visage, because the way to deal with Drow is just to jump her. Immediately remove that bonus damage for your teammates, and coming from marksmanship, which of course is disabled if they're enemy heroes within a 400 AoE. So Centaur is probably the best hero. You have the instant jump in from a Blink Dagger, not to mention the Stampede move speed. So yeah, I'm liking the Centaur ban a lot for Vici. I think it's a mandatory ban if you want to run Drow, unless you really have a solution plan for the Centaur in the early laning stage. But that's a good ban from them. On the other side of the coin, IG went back for a Bristleback. So one of the better heroes to deal with the familiars, with the quills, of course, affecting them, and Bristle being a naturally tanky hero, but even with that, and obviously tends to build damage block, tends to have pretty decent armor in the mid game once he builds some tank items. So I do like Bristleback versus Visage, but it doesn't really give them a hero that has huge mobility. Like, you don't have a Blink type of spell. You don't have a Stampede. So I wouldn't have minded seeing that a little bit earlier from IG, just going for Centaur over Bristleback. But, well, it's too late now. It is banned out of the pool. And then on the side of IG, they'll ban out a Viper and a Puck. So a Viper in particular, a hero that just gives Bristleback fits. You can kite him, kind of stay on the boundaries of the goo range, and it makes it very hard, and the Quill Spray as well, and it makes it really hard for Bristleback to chase in fights. Once he gets Viper struck, he's pretty much out of it, and especially if you stack the slows of the Drow Ranger and the Viper together. And guys, for everybody who's still not sure what's going on, the schedule was changed for Starladder today fairly last minute by Ace. I believe it was to avoid other conflicts with some of the other events that have Chinese qualifiers going on right now, like MSI Beat It. I'm trying to think what other ones there are. There's Sign a Cup. So it might have been due to one of those events. For whatever reason, the schedule was changed. They told Starladder pretty last minute, but Starladder obliged them. So it's not really Dota 2 Lounge's fault, but hopefully they will get the schedule and the bets updated ASAP. Anyway, with that said, Enigma picked up by Vici Gaming, so they got really good Roche potential now. I mean, insanely good. If this team gets a medallion on Visage, they're going to be in fantastic shape. Although with that said, I would kind of prefer for the Enigma to get the medallion, or maybe even someone else on the team, but probably the Enigma. Reason being, you want Visage Rush's Ags when you're running a Drow. Any gold that's not spent towards an Ags is delaying the true strength of the strategy. IG will go back for Revenge, so it gives them a way to kind of deal with the Enigma Black Hole. It gives them a good roaming partner for Scarth Mage. But I'm still... Lai Gaming versus Hyper Glory Team will be later. Stop asking. It's not now. Jesus. I know there's 2 minutes to play, but one more time. Just wanted to let everyone know. Yeah. 4th pick for Vici Gaming. Let's see. They've got their supports. They'll want someone who can kind of be a frontline tank, I think, is their last hero. But for now, they got a Shadow Demon. So they got a good defensive support, and this actually changes things up a bit. We're looking at either a Core Visage, Enigma, or Shadow Demon. How are they going to lane this one? Obviously, Shadow Demon Visage Drow is a very strong tri-lane. Like, extremely strong and very good defensively, lots of burst damage. That being said, I think IG may want to contest them. They've picked up a Lifestealer. This goes nicely with the Scarth Mage Venge, and even if they don't go full offensive tri-lane, they are going to be roaming all over the place, and I expect them to try and put some pressure on this Drow's lane. But you don't necessarily have to kill the Drow. The beauty of contesting the Drow Visage strat is that shutting down the Visage is almost just as good. If the Visage doesn't get farmed, the strat is significantly weakened. Not to say Drow doesn't offer you something with farm, but it's not the same. As TA will get banned out here. A good hero to just jump in and try to assassinate Drow quickly. Vici won't even go for any sort of frontline tank. We've seen a lot of the teams running the Drow Visage go for like 4 ranged heroes and then like say a Brewmaster or a Centaur. Just someone who could be that damage sponge in the front lines. But Vici, go for a Mirana now. And so the question becomes, is this a core Enigma? Are we going to see him as one of our early farmers? How are they going to look to do this? Because, yeah, either that or a farming Visage, man. I don't know. I would love to see it. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but yeah, we'll find out soon enough. As for Invictus Gaming, well, I guess the other option here is you could run Drow as like a solo mid maybe, and well, someone's still, yeah, I don't know, someone's still got to take the farm in one of these lanes, or they're just going to abandon a lane. That's the other possibility. They could just run Mirana mid, Enigma jungle, and a defensive tri-lane and just completely sack the off lane. But it is Ice on the Enigma. So we are going to see a core Enigma here, it looks like. This is exciting stuff. And with that said, I'll let the world know, guys, the schedule has been changed. Vici Gaming versus IG is happening right now, and it features an Ice Enigma. I don't think I've ever seen him play this hero before. I'm sure he has, but I have not seen it, so it's going to be completely new. Bear with me while I enjoy this one. Alright, and with that said, we're into the game. We'll go ahead. Hopefully no pauses. No pauserino, pleaserino. And we'll introduce our teams here. Yeah. Alright, on the Dire side, Ice. We'll be playing your offlane Enigma, saving all his gold for now. Black will be playing the Drow Ranger, heading to the safe lane FY on the Visage. That puts Super onto the solo mid Mirana. Well, I imagine will be solo mid Fenrir on the Shadow Demon. So it is a core Enigma. Slightly unusual. I mean, we haven't seen it before. I'm not saying like it's never happened in the history of Dota. I'm just saying, you know, it's pretty cool to see a less common laning setup from Vici Gaming, who have been fairly experimental, but compared to most Chinese teams lately. Well, on the side of IG, you've got Chuan playing the Avenged support. Boots up, ready to roam early Cheesebug, his support partner, with a smoke picked up. Very aggressive early ganking duo on that Scarth Mage. 430 on the best Ember Spirit in China. Bar none. Definitely the best in China. And I think Sensei would challenge him for best in the world, but he'll be going mid as the Ember Spirit. Or no, maybe not. Aggressive Charlie Ember. Okay, they're going to put the Lifestealer mid here for June. And that does leave in the safe lane Luo on the Bristleback. So, putting the Lifestealer mid this game, I'm wondering what they're expecting him to be laning against. Because Ember does fine against Mirana. But maybe they're expecting some sort of... I think they might be expecting like a Shadow Demon Mirana dual lane and then a Drow Visage dual lane. And Lifestealer is one of the better heroes to deal with the Shadow Demon Mirana dual lane. So yeah, I like this choice from IG. Expecting the Shadow Demon Mirana dual lane mid. They get a hero that can rage and immediately dodge the arrow. Unless the arrow is like absolutely perfectly placed. And even if it is, can still rage towards the end of the Soul Catcher and look to make his way out. So... yeah, they're expecting that, but they're not getting it. It's just going to be super mid on Mirana. Has the early Wraith Band, and June got a pretty good block here. His range creep will be dying real fast, so the lane will push in his favor. And with the early stop shot, he should get some decent farm. Meanwhile, Ice offlane Enigma up against the Bristleback. He dropped down an Observer, but Ice already saw this. And IG are going to now make them mosey up into this top lane. Vici Gaming are sitting pretty far back. They know the power of the early pressure that IG can put on them. One good missile, one good chain, and that'll be a first blood. So they sit back and focus on their pulling. This is not being contested right now by IG. They're allowing FY to get that early level, but I imagine we will see some pressure real soon. Going for the Radiant pull now. So one of the nice things about this, if you want to go aggressive trying on the Radiant side, you have that extra experience to work with. And I'm not really seeing Vici Gaming being able to contest this too easily. So if that's the trade and they're getting the big camps experience, And Vici can't even get in there. That's trouble. They've actually dropped the Sentry Ward, but it was manually blocked. FY, wasting a D-Ward attempt here. So a bit of a loss for him as 430 walks in. Now, the nuke from the Scarlet Mage, but no slow just yet. They go back for FY. If chains are available... Oh, they're not! 430! He'll go down first. Defensive disruption for Fenrir. Turns this one around. And FY with the Grave Chill in the south is going to end up living. Well, the next nuke will kill him. Yeah, there goes the Visage, but they get the trade. The Vengeful Spirit going down as well. A 2-for-1 exchange. Already a mess in this offensive tri-lane for IG. Your elite followers won't save you, my friends. Giving up the first blood, giving up 2 kills, that is a real mess. And Ember, if he has this bad start, is not a good tri-lane hero. That hero really needs levels. 430, can't even get Rage of Fenrir. It's up to Chuan to run him down. They'll get the kill on the Shadow Demon, but they're going to lose the Ember again. I think they got to make a lane swap here. This is just not going to work with the Ember Spirit anymore. He's too damn squishy at this point. They're bringing in more reinforcements, though. Cheese Bug. Now chasing FY Chuan with the stun. They'll get the kill on FY. So can they chase out Black? He's a bit too tanky. Not sure they'll be able to get this kill. One more nuke, and then Black can turn. Cheese Bug's now out of mana. They're sending 430 back, but he teleported back the first time, and now he has to run back into the lane. Fortunately, I believe he got a little bit of kill experience, but Vici Gaming now decide to rotate off that lane. They're going to bring Fenrir towards the bottom, and they'll look for Luo. With Enigma here, level 2 Malefice, level 2 conversions, this is a possible kill. There's a point in Bristleback, though. More defensive build from Luo, but he's out of mana now, so they can dive him confidently. The body block is decent from Ice Ice Ice. Eidolons will stack up on him. They'll follow up with a nice Starfall from Super, and that's a mid-Marana. So it's the double Starfall. Or sorry, the 2 points of Starfall. So the double damage, basically, on the Starfall for this early on, and they'll get the kill. Score now 3-4, but the good news for IG is that 430 is not being pressured, I suppose. Chuan and Cheesebug, they made their way all the way back to Fountain after that engagement top lane, and now they'll look to rotate towards a different part of the map. Let's see where they go. They're wrapping around towards Ice 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 perhaps here. Is he going to be scouting with his Eidolons to give him a little bit of vision? He doesn't have a Soul Rain yet. He's gone for the early Bassi, so he's low on mana. Can't make conversions now. Has that 1 stick charge, but doesn't want to. You don't want to blow 1 stick charge. You want to wait till the quills stack up. And while he's busy waiting, he's getting ganked. He senses it, but it might be too late. Magic Missiles to follow this up. Concussive Shot is ready. They'll slow Ice Ice down. This is a big kill on the offlaner. That's a level 5 Enigma going down. Well, meanwhile, top lane, 430, is able to survive here. Leeches some experience from the big camp from the southern side of the ramp. Or down the cliff, I should say. Doesn't end up going down. So, let's take a quick look at our mid lane. It's a struggle here for June. 15-5 up against the 24-8 Marana. Super's dominating this one. Now he's going to get a double damage rune. And on top of dominating his own lane, he's been setting up kills for his team. It is what you expect with a Lifestealer versus Marana. Even if you open wounds her, she can always just leap out. You're really never going to be able to auto-attack her. Unless you have a boots advantage. Like, if you have phase boots versus regular boots or no boots in Marana, then maybe, but you can't expect much otherwise. Wrap around on Chuan. Disruption to start. They'll follow this up with Black's auto attacks, but Chuan turns and just looks to go in on Fenrir. 430, only has the level 2 shield now. He's forced back, but Black's going to slow him down. They can't lose their Ember again. Gets off the chains. Won't matter. It's a double kill, and the Drow feed has begun in earnest. Black is 4-0-1 at 5 minutes. The worst thing you can do when you're up against the Drow is to feed the Drow. This is a snowball hero, guys. It's not really the best comeback hero. If Drow falls behind early, she struggles a lot. She's not like a Shadow Fiend. Doesn't flash farm, but it also goes the other way. If she gets that fast level 6. Remember, this team has 5 ranged heroes. They have demonic conversions as well. They are going to have an insane amount of physical damage. And this is already concerning. It just seems questionable not to give 430 the mid lane. Matches up better against Marana. And I guess Lifestealer does struggle against Drow, but frankly, Ember doesn't do too great against her either. And it's 430's Ember. I mean, this guy is an absolute beast on the hero when he's given some space, but, well, he's not getting any now. 15-0 in CS. It's less than 3 a minute for him. They're not winning the mid lane either, and that's no fault of June's. He can't win this matchup. It's a struggle now for IG, but they will get a stun on FY. Maybe they can find a kill here. Concussive Shot coming in. Just kidding. Drow's here. Look at the damage. Chunking into Chuan. Already has his ultimate ready, and that's going to be the death of the Venge. Cheesebug just got clipped by an arrow. I thought he went AFK, but yeah, the arrow hit him, and Super arrives from the backside. It's going to be the entire tri-lane wiped to smithereens. Now, where's the trade? There is none. Well, the one trade is, I guess, that Luo's winning this bottom lane. He's level 7. But he needs to join the top lane soon. Picks up his power treads. Trading farm on a drow and feeding her kills just to get some bristleback farm is not going to cut it. That is not a good trade in a vacuum. And we can see already a 3,000 gold lead for Vici Gaming. 3,000 experience. We're only 6.5 minutes in. And now it's Chuan and Cheesebug again trying to force these ganks, but they're falling behind in levels. Your Visage is getting close to level 6. FY, 200 experience away. That's like at most a minute, depending on how many waves he's able to leech. Whereas Cheesebug, not even cracking level 4 yet. This is trouble. If they get caught now, if they don't get these kills, if this gank fails, it's going to be really awkward for them. But it looks like they're in position to catch up Black here. They brought in June from the middle lane, has the phase boots online, 430 baits them in, and this is a much needed kill. They'll go straight for the Drow. They got to kill her off. FY, TP scrolls ready, and we'll go for the TP out, but Chuan's reserved to stun. FY, not even going to bother. He just accepts his fate. He will die. An incredibly important double kill for this team. It helps to equalize the levels now. Chuan, now back in a safer place. Just clipped level 5. Your Vengeful Spirit getting some decent levels, and the Scarth Mage not too far off. So IG bounced back. And it's a pretty big bounce back as well, like a 1,500 gold swing nearly. Well, at least 1,000 there. But it's one of those things where if they didn't get those kills right then, and then they go to gank and Visage has familiars, they almost certainly at least give up 1 or 2 kills as a trade. So, again, the critical timing really can't be overstated. But top lane, they kill off the Ember Spirit. FY as well as Black combined. This was Wall, Cheesebug, and Chuan were trying to rotate in. Meanwhile, Luo tried to check that rune, but unsuccessful in doing so. 16 kills, only 8 minutes in. 2 kills a minute here, and there's your Midas on the Drow. This will get Black the faster level 11 if he's left unchecked. We'll expect to see a Medallion fairly soon on Ice Ice Ice. For now, he's going to pick up a Soul Rain. Well, if he doesn't go for the Medallion, then I expect either a Shadow Demon. Actually, it probably will be the Shadow Demon, since it's a core Enigma. Enigma more likely to go for the mech, I think. But yeah, someone will be getting a Medallion ASAP on this Vici Gaming squad, and still holding on to their towers. The one issue for IG is, even if they do get kills and equalize this one, they don't really take towers quickly. Not at all. But they'll go in bottom lane. 430 with the chains. Nice kill in Ice Ice Ice. And IG's musical lanes are starting to help to bring this game back to balance. Balance in all things. Even in kills now. We're getting close to that anyway. 430 though, right as this Flame Guard ends. The fun begins for Super. Arrow missed! He missed the point-blank arrow! 430, he's got a Spirit available. He can at least throw one before dying. But no, he'll just buy the Blades of Attack. Wasn't planning on buybacking and trying to turn that. Man, missed a point-blank arrow. Super. He's farmed well, though. You can't fault him for that. 50 and 13, and it definitely helps having the bonus damage for Precision R there. While mid lane, they're making the wraparound. Chuan and Cheesebug smoking in. Black Hole insta-cancel by Ice Ice Ice. Or, sorry, not by Ice Ice Ice, by Chuan and Cheesebug. The silence was the one that canceled it, and then the missile helped secure the kill. That's just damn unfortunate, man. They even had this ward here to spot rotations, but not going to help you when IG are on the smoke. The good news is they're taking towers. And the familiars, meanwhile, are waiting to backstab this mid lane. Tower will go the way of Black, so the Drow Ranger's level progression stacking up. FY, and you're getting near that point booster and can begin to work on his Aghanim Scepter. It won't be the fastest Ags ever. He's 2, 3, and 6. He's got too many deaths to get one really quickly, but if they get a few more towers, we could see it by like that 17, 18 minute mark. Bottom lane, arrow in on to 430, but the teleports arrive. June, with phase boots, might be able to get a range of Fenrir here, but no detection. And the Moonlight Shadow will cover the path of retreat for Vici Gaming. So they get out safely. I'm just waiting on that Medallion, honestly. Like, to me, that's the big item for Vici right now. Get a Medallion, go for the Roche. It is a little risky to do it against the frontline tanking that Luo brings to the table. And speaking of Luo, he nearly has a mech complete. So he's the best mech carrier on this team. You're not going to really build that on a Lifestealer or an Ember, and it does make sense. But one other thing I want to talk about, which I think is a pretty cool aspect of this IG draft, is that they do have a decent Lifestealer vehicle. Ember Spirit, you normally wouldn't think of as one, but I think he's actually a great vehicle. If you go for the chains, and then you just Searing Chains after Sleight of Fist, Lifestealer can jump out and immediately jump on a target. Not to mention you have the pure mobility of Remnants, so I am seeing this as a good duo later on this game. Could also, if you want a tankier way into the fight, you can just infest Luo. But now a smoke picked up by IG. And that's going to be nearly their last smoke for some time. Yeah, no smoke for 11 minutes. Let's see. No action bottom lane. Yeah, they got to make this one count. Because if they use it now, there's not going to be a smoke to go into the Roche pit. They'll have to run in. And run in blind, as they currently have no vision over the pit. You can see the Radiant vision here is not very good. Mid lane's getting pushed in, though. Is there going to be a TP reaction to defend this? June gets the tower, gets purged, but he'll infest, and there's no black hole to punish this. I'm not sure they could have killed him anyway. Disrupted as well. Are they really going in? No, they don't want to go on him. Meanwhile, Familiars pursuing out 430 with the Drow Aura. These are going to do a lot of damage. Hasn't actually been activated, but the arrow finds 430. The pain. Where's that Drow Aura? Oh, activates it now. There you go. 430 will end up going down. Good activation timing. Is super also picks up the Scarlet Mage. Chuan now being pursued out. These Familiars, if they get 2 stuns, would be enough to kill him, but they only get the 1. Allowing Chuan to retreat. Still a 2 for 0 exchange, and they barely had to invest anything. Just a casual arrow chucked in from range. Now another one chucked in as Chuan continues to be pursued by Familiars. 1 more auto attack. That'll do it. FY's now on a killing spree, and I said a 17-minute Aegis. With those kills, he's looking at a much faster one. He's farming the top lane and he's getting kills bottom at the same time. FY, making this Drow Visage combo look easy. Suddenly finds himself halfway to the Aghanim Scepter. Might even have it by like 16 minutes if he gets a couple more kills or a tower. And with the conversions pounding into this, the towers are going to come soon. It's quickly dropping here. As Super makes his rotation down. He's going for a Lincoln Sphere, which generally I feel is a kind of a weak opener for Mirana, just because it's a little bit passive, but and she doesn't scale particularly well. But when you've got the... Oh, Rage. June purged up, though. He doesn't have a good infest ready. 12 seconds to go on this. Now juking into the trees. He's got stick charges. He's already popped his drums, but Super's there with the leap in. The Starfall to secure the kill. Nicely done. Meanwhile, 430. They'll finish off Black Drow. Way out on an island. Had a Blink Dagger, but 430 tracked him down. That's a big one for him. But Familiars are coming for the backstab, and so too is Super. He's got a haste. Look for the arrow. The Starfall follow-up. Not even needed. I actually will connect on Chuan. As the Familiars backstep. Chuan caught out. He'll take some decent damage. Stun. 1, 2. Black Hole's ready. Are they going to go through? They'll swap out from Chuan. He'll leave his buddy to die here. As Lumo will end up getting caught out of position. 430 cancels the Black Hole, though. He walks around the periphery of it and gets the chains from the backside, but it won't even matter. The Quill's nearly finishing off 2 Familiars. Would have at least gotten some gold for that, but not even that is permitted. And I'm looking at FY now with just about 3 components on his Ags. And crucially, his level 11, not too far off. He hits level 9 now. He'll ideally want to get the Ags, then use the resummon to avoid that extremely long cooldown before you can resummon again. 160 seconds if he waits until level 11, and a full 3 minutes, equivalent to a black hole. And then, almost equivalent to a black hole, I should say. But either way, they'll go into the pit. They don't have a medallion, but at this point, they probably don't need it. They've got so much farm on the Drow Ranger. She's level 11 as well, hitting for nearly 200 damage in auto attack. With the Frost Arrow slow, they get the Aegis on the Drow. And still IG are going to go in. They're going to smoke. Are they really trying to contest this? They do know Black Hole's down. But the positioning's a little awkward here. There's an arrow fishy mid lane. I think looking for 430. Didn't connect though as Ice 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 tanks a Mystic Flare. But gets disrupted. Fenrir's ready. 430 arrives. Great 2 heroes chains. Is their follow-up to get this kill. Ice 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 still living. He gets off the mech and he's going to continue to retreat out. He ends up surviving for a long time, although they do lose him eventually. But now the Drow Ranger kiting Luo. Blinking out, then Black comes back in. Familiars turning this one. June first to run, but he just can't get out. Even the auto techs of Super hit hard, hit fast, and they look for more. It's 4 down. It's going to be a full wipe here. The slow on the Cheesebug. Rack him up and knock him down. Black is getting out of control, and so too is the rest of Vici Gaming. They now lead by 14,000 gold, 12,000 experience, with a 23-10 kill lead. The tower advantage going their way. And the big issue is there's absolutely nothing on 430. Poorest Ember Spirit I've ever seen him have. And I really don't even think it's his fault. Like, what's he supposed to do in that top lane? I'm honestly not sure what IG's plan was with that, but... Like, I like the idea of going aggressive against Drought, don't get me wrong. But I'm just not feeling like Ember was the right hero to send there. I would have much rather seen either the Bristleback or the Lifestealer. Probably the Lifestealer, just because Bristleback really struggles against Enigma. Or, sorry, Lifestealer struggles against Enigma, just with Not as tanky and durable in the laning stage as a Bristleback. But with that said, Lifestealer might have a slightly tough time top lane. I just think it's more important to get your Ember farm if you're going to sack one. And, well, top lane June will go in. But these Eidolons are out-damaging him right now as he tries to work on Ice Ice Ice. There's still a mech ready. They'll Sleight of Fist and Shades Ice Ice Ice. This will give them a little bit of vision. But now he's invis for Moonlight Shadow. And the chains wear off. Disrupted. Kept alive again by Fenrir. Always ready with these. But not much follow-up. Now Black with the silence. He goes in, blinks over June, who is trying to auto-attack him. Black with the fancy footwork, slowing one, then the other, killing them both off. Black is really a magician in these fights right now, and now Super's on the chase. He missed his arrow, but he don't care. There's a chain, there's a spirit ready for 430. He's also got some stick charges. A bit baiting here, but hasted Super simply won't care. What a beatdown this has been so far. And Ember is getting drums when Visage is picking up his eggs. Like, that's the state of the game we're in. Yeah. Basically, to me, your one-position hero, even though they ran him in the aggressive tri-lane, definitely their main damage dealer to deal with familiars. No Battle Fury, no damage items in sight. And Ice 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 is going to black hole this. They're chasing Luo out. They'll probably need to use the Black Hole to get this kill. Yeah, drops the Midnight Pulse. Follow-up damage is there from the Starfall. Didn't get the double proc, but also doesn't need it. And now June, caught out mid lane. The blink into slow just annihilates him. And he really can't do anything. Didn't even get off the silence, because I guess Black got his silence off first with the Gust. That's a really powerful tool. I have to say, the whole Blink Dagger innovation, obviously credit for that goes to Eternal Envy as the main pro player to start using it, but I think this is the game I've been most impressed by a player's usage of Blink Dagger within fights. Like, Black is watching for a hero to run at him, gets the Frost Arrow to slow them, then blinks over them and starts attacking and slowing another hero. And this is where you you look at the draft for IG, and that's why teams are picking something like Centaur if they see this Drow Visage. They get someone who can instantly gap close. Maybe a Faceless Void at times is okay, or Doom, but I think Centaur is just ideal, because it gives your whole team a chance to close the distance, not just one hero who can be turned on. But yeah, without something like that, it makes Black's life a lot easier. And he's been doing work on the back of it. Sleight of Fist through, barely even scratching these familiars. But they are forced to stun because the Quill Sprays were stacking up. June now walking in, they know there's no Black Hole. They got a Chains on too. Ice 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 though, still has a mech ready. He tanks a Mystic Flare. He'll need to mech through this to survive as Super leaps forward. Familiars on the hunt, but they are starting to drop here. The Quills stack up, and FY, despite having full Soul Assumption charges, ends up losing all 3 familiars. Not the best micro from him, but also just the cruel reality of Bristleback stacks versus familiars. They may have to back off and wait for them to cool down. They'll get a complete Manta now in Black. Yeah, I think if you're Vici Gaming, you ideally want to have your familiars up and your resummon, so that you could have 6 familiars in a fight. Now, if you want to wait for that, you're waiting another 3 minutes or so, but assuming he doesn't lose any. But I think it's still worth it, honestly. Having 6 familiars in a fight is so powerful. You can throw 3 at the tower. Like, you already see the damage they did to this tier 3, and they'll be able to bring it down with that flock. The first flock. The second flock can be used on the melee Rex. And now they'll build up a pipe here. Interesting pickup from Ice Ice. Oh, June, too quick on the rage, but you can see what Black was going for. If he gets off that silence, 6 seconds, that's enough to kill off June during that time. And June is low in armor. He's only got 5. You really want to have more against this much physical damage, but truthfully, he's just so damn poor. Like, he is building towards the armlet, and that's certainly the right choice, but meanwhile, Cheesebug is about to get backstabbed. If he's not careful, these familiars are going to move into the trees. And they're about to find him. Cheesebug. Oh no. Oh no, my friend. That's not where you want to be. Look how fast he drops. Oh, can they kill him off? Oh, nope. Just out of range. Needed 1 to stun while the others finished him off. They didn't even have Precision R for that. But they're still doing a lot of work. Forcing 430 back. Meanwhile, mid lane Super. Good, and they'll leap away. Vici Gaming are actually, I think the thing that's impressed me most about them is they've been a little sloppy in some games, but just the diversity of strategies. Like the Tiny Wisp, the Drow Visage, they've been able to run the classic Chinese Death Balls very effectively, the Razor strats, the Viper, and Death Prophet pickups. We've seen Black on Doom at times. Like the hero pool of this team, and just not just plugging in different heroes to the same formula, but having multiple completely different formulas and not being afraid to just pick them up early either. Like, they first picked Drow Visage after seeing a Scarlet Mage. That is a confident opening. They knew Centaur was in the pool. They knew IG would know what's coming, and they still are winning with it, at least for now. And if you're IG at this point, I mean, the only thing you can really do is hope that 430 gets big. He's going to have to get a Battle Fury, probably a Daedalus as well. They go for the Disruption Arrow on June, but it's not really timed right. Still, June drops low to the auto attacks. They couldn't get off a silence at the ideal moment. As Ember tries to hold the line top lane, but Familiars are split pushing here. They've got the pipe on them. Well, the goo comes out, and they'll take down the tower mid. It's a bit of a split push, preventing IG from having an easy target to focus on. Now the Rack's beginning to take huge chunks of damage. 65 damage per attack on each Familiar, with 3 of them online, and 2.5 attacks per second. You're looking at thousands of damage before reduction within a matter of seconds. Luo drops now, though, and Black is still standing strong. Sleight of Fist in by 430, but now silenced on the way out. Has nowhere to go. SSI stun, can they bring him down in time? No, not able to do so. Mystic Flare, there was no mana for it, so they couldn't secure that kill. As they chase out Luo to the left, he's slowed down, kited by these Frost Arrows, controlled by Vici. They'll get another kill. GG. GG. Vici Gaming, not only winning, but winning in style in China. They continue to be the hardest to predict team over in that region, and I guess the question will be, once teams figure them out a bit, once teams have seen enough of their strategies, can they then out-execute them? Their execution has been damn good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're lacking there, but you know, we do see a few things, like Super missing that arrow bottom lane, and the occasional miss micro by FY feeding the 3 Familiars mid. But hey, that's nitpicking, man. They were fantastic this game. Vici Gaming, take it. We've got plenty more awesome Dota coming your way today. You're watching Starladder China, powered by Beyond, or not powered by, presented by Beyond the Summit. I think it's Asus as their main sponsor. But yeah, we've got Newbie versus LGD coming up next, guys. That one, we've got a bit of a wait. This was a fairly quick game, only 23 minutes. But we will return in 35 minutes for Newbie versus LGD. So stick around if you want to check that out. I do also want to mention, in the meantime, we've got MSI Beat It coverage brought to you by Zyclops. That's right. If you miss some of his puns and wit, then I suggest you head over to twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit. You can check out his coverage there of MSI Beat It. Right now, Mineski versus the Prime and Arrow versus Awake. And we also have Sign a Cup 5 coverage by Mott, which will be continuing fairly soon. I believe it's Invictus Gaming playing Lie Gaming, which comes up next. But yeah, we'll have a break before that here on the main stream. So thanks for watching the Dota Starladder coverage, guys. We'll return in 35 minutes for Newbie versus LGD. Stay with us.